How you doing, people? Robert here. First video of the 2023. Now, I want to get straight to the point on this. This is the start of a dangerous time for the people of the lands of Scotland, the lands of England, the lands of Wales and the lands of Ireland. It's already took effect in London. Now, this year we have Nicola Sturgeon in the Muppet Show going to try a trial on digital ID. Very dangerous situation, because comes along with that there's two other things. 20-minute communities where you're in a zone and you've got 20-minute travel time, you cannot leave that zone. An example of that is to go to my area to somewhere else. I'm going to require permission and a pass. Do you people really want that? Somehow I don't think so. The other thing now is the digital currency. That runs hand in hand with everything that's happening. Now, people say about the digital currency, right? The enslavement started a while back, a good while back, and I'll tell you how this is happening. People think it's great to order online for their food to be delivered to their home. People think it's great to order curries and foods from takeaways to be delivered to their home. It isn't good, right? The smartphone devices and the smart systems that's going out there were sold on an illusion to deceive the people. Myself, I have a Samsung A10, and what I do on my phone is I put in a password. But what most people do out there is do thumb recognition or face recognition. This system has manipulated a way to deceive the people 100%. And people have to waken up to this. People cannot register to this digital ID. People have to put a stop to the digital currency. This isn't for the people's benefit. This is for the people who represents the corporations worldwide, your governments, the World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum in Europe. This is a spying mechanism, a controlling mechanism the same as China. We cannot have that, people, because if the people, not just here in the lands of Scotland, the lands of England, the lands of Ireland, the lands of Wales, allow this to happen, you've lost your rights. They control everything. And the downfall of this digital currency. Now, when people's in debt here, people have a chance to fight that debt with sheriff officers and whatever else, the banks, parking tickets and everything else. Digital currency comes into play. Then we've got a major issue, because if the man or woman, not the person, the man or woman owes a debt, you just shut your account then. You'll get nothing. You'll not be able to feed yourself, you'll not be able to pay your bills, your mortgage or whatever. It's not just that as well. This has got a carbon footprint. And what that means is they're tracking everything that you spend this money on, or the illusion of money, or the pay wallet that they put on your phone. Because you're not going to have bank cards, people. And that's a fact. And you're not going to have cash. And if the people are dumb enough to allow this to happen, well then, you're beat, right? Because the last thing I'm going to have is somebody telling myself where I'm going to go, how long I've got to travel, and I can't go to certain places without their permission or a pass. It's happening in London just now. I seen a video the other day, a guy was talking about Hackney. He left Hackney to go to another area, had to get a pass. He went to that area, then wanted to go somewhere else, had to get a pass. That's not happening. And I'll tell you the reason it won't happen is if the people wake up, stand up and be counted. Because your so-called men and women known as MSPs, MPs, politicians, government, entity known as government, don't own the land. They don't own the water, and they certainly don't own the fucking air, right? And this is where people have to wake up. They're stealing your inalienable and inherent rights, and the laws inherent within. No right from wrong. These people know right from wrong, but everything they're doing is wrong. It's all about control. carbon footprints, climate change bullshit, right? Even the experts, there's experts out there now talking about climate change. It's a nonsense, right? It is. In Scotland, where's our climate change? We get bad weather most of the time of the year. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have floods. We have water building up in areas because the ground is low and the water lies. That's it. Don't be deceived with climate change nonsense. It's all about control, carbon taxes, all about money, right? And I'll give you an example. It's came to my attention. I need to find the legislation on this because I've been directed to look for this. For all you people that bought these eco bikes, these electric bikes that can do over 20 mile an hour, there's a legislation being passed, but it's not come into light yet as far as I know. You have to insure it, MOT it, and tax it, right? And drive it with a provisional licence. They didn't tell you that when they advertised their bikes, did they? But the funny thing is, the bikes that they hire out for the government, these private corporations, they've not got that issue. You can use their bikes, but you can't use your own. Use people have to wake up, smell the coffee, because this is dangerous times, people. They get away with the sex education because people don't know how to address this, how to fight this. They think I take my hat off to all the lassie down in Wales that done the High Court case with other people. It's my understanding she was supposed to use a barrister. I don't know if that's true. I don't know the full ins and outs of the matter. But you're being dragged into their legal system, their legal realm, because you're treated as persons, fictions. It doesn't exist. Corporations, because the sons and daughters of the lands of England, Ireland and Wales have been incorporated with the birth certificate. There is no getting away from that. I can verify it because I've got a receipt from the registers of Scotland. It's called Scotland People website. They sent me a receipt with the extract that I ordered, and it tells you clearly on the receipt you have an entity ID, you have a number, and it's the all capital name. Now, so I'm clear. Entity. What is an entity? The definition of entity is an independent existence from the man or woman. The mothers and fathers that registered or informed on the sons and daughters have been lied to. Now, I've got the Dun and Bradstreet numbers, and I can verify that the main branch or the main office of the Registers of Scotland is registered in Dun and Bradstreet. It's a private corporation. I can also verify that the Crown is a corporation. The Scottish Government's a corporation. Down in England, Westminster's a corporation. The House of Commons is a corporation. The House of Lords is a corporation. People have been deceived, and they don't know this because they do not do their research. They don't be diligent like myself. Or it's just ignorance that they're happy with their lives. Well, let myself verify in private capacity under full liability, even under a charge of perjury, as I always do. If this goes ahead, if they succeed, the people of the lands of Scotland, the lands of England, the lands of Wales and Ireland are fucked. Make no mistake. You become a slave. You're a slave just now. Everything you do, you're enslaved. They can track you on your phones when you're out and about, anywhere. And two prime examples is if you're driving the car and you break down somewhere quiet, remote, the AA can find you because they can track your phone. The RAC can find you because they can track your phone. And if the police want to be proper rats, they can track you as well. That's why they're smartphones, because everything's trackable and traceable. And that's a fact. They should not have this power, people, to do what they're doing. We, the people of the lands of Scotland, the lands of England, the lands of Ireland, and the lands of Wales, have to put a stop to this. The government, the entity known as government, is not sovereign. The voting system is based on constructive fraud, criminal conversion. When the man or woman, as I've said time and time again in the past, go into a school, put a tick in a box, it's the man or woman that ticked the box, because only a man or a woman can tick a box or put a cross, right? When that box leaves, you become a person. Example, person, driving licence, all capital name, council tax, all capital name, register to vote, all capital name, 3 examples, passport, all capital name, everything's done in black ink, as I keep telling the people, the sign of the dead. That's why, capitis diminutio, you lose your status as a man or a woman. and you become incorporated. You become a fiction, an entity that does not exist. Example, when you walk into a public building and you walk into what they call the dock, the man or woman that's acting in capacity, the office of sheriff, cannot see it or hear you. That's why they can do what they do. And it's wrong, because people still walk in and out these courts as persons, right? Look at every statute to legislation act. States person, persons or person, right? Resident person, tenant person, inhabitant person, owner person. They've bastardised the language by using the word person. They've took the status. Whoever created this system has been very, very clever. Really, really clever. What we, the people in the lands of Scotland, the lands of England, the lands of Ireland and the lands of Wales need to remove all these politicians. And it can be done. People say, well, what are we going to do? We select a sovereign government from the people, right? It's like the national debt, your mortgages. People go get a fraudulent mortgage, right? Because it's based in fraud, right? Because when you fill in their paperwork again, it's all capital names. And when they confirm the document, they only put X's, sign here, sign there, sign there. It's only the signature of the man or woman that's wanting the loan or the mortgage that sign it, as far as I'm aware. That's the way it is. The bank card, that's the other trickery. That's why people at Stirling Park, Walker and Love, Scott and Co can get into the account, because you're dead, you don't exist, the old capital name, tricked and lied to again, based in fraud, identity theft. And I verify that in private capacity under full personal liability, under a charge of perjury. Now people, anti-corruption Scotland this year is going to step up to the mark. I'll be back on the street shortly. There'll be notice given. We've decided in anti-corruption Scotland we're going to start again, because there's too many trolls and groups out there causing controversy. There's too many people, as far as I'm concerned, get egos, and that's one thing I've not got, right? Plus the fact there's a lot of people out there asking for FundMes and PayPals, and that's a nonsense. Anything I've got, I pay for myself. I paid for the van, got it signed right, he paid for that. Bought the banners, and any paper or leaflets I print comes out of my pocket, and it shouldn't come out of my pocket, but I'm doing this for the right reason, and that's a fact. And what I'm going to ask is, people now start paying attention to Anti-Corruption Scotland, Anti-Corruption Task Force and Anti-Corruption Save Our Children, because there's too many wrongs being done here to put it right. When you get a headache, you go buy a packet of Anodin or a packet of paracetamol and it helps. Most times it'll take it away. What we the people, the sovereign people, and that's what we are. In Scotland, we're lieges, kings and queens in our own right. We're higher than any politician in the Scottish Parliament, the entity. And that's a fact. Please people, listen to what I'm telling you. I'll tell you any lies, I'll not give you false information, I'll tell you the truth. Because there's no point in lying or misinformation, because it serves no purpose. And I will stand my ground. Anti-corruption will fight. And I can verify something right here now. Myself and Anti-Corruption Scotland, if I get the numbers, have got the heart of a lion. And I will roar. And I will take the fight to any corporate body in the Parliament, or any politician, First Minister, presiding officer, anybody that wants to stand toe to toe with a man anywhere, and I'll show you how much power they don't have, because it's an illusion of power, the presumption and assumption of power, right? For instance, Nicola Sturgeon, the woman, acting capacity office of First Minister, as a failed solicitor, right? It's my understanding 50,000 operations have been cancelled under the SNP, the entity known as SNP. And remember this, I keep pointing this out and highlighting it. There is no man or woman called SNP, right? There's people, men and women, that participate in it and represent it, which is different, right? And they still have no power or authority over us, the sovereign men and the sovereign women of the lands of Scotland. And that's the same in England, the lands of England, the lands of Ireland and the lands of Wales. But people just don't understand. They've been lied to all their life, the same as myself, right? Example, the birth certificate. When you came from your mother's body, she created you, you came from her body. You came into this world free. And the only thing is binding you people, all people, is the fact that every mother and father that created a son or daughter, or sons and daughters, informed on their son and daughter on the corporation known as Registered of Scotland, and it was manipulated with the Crown. That's why on the extract of the birth certificate it tells you Crown copyright, right? Because they've given you an all capital name. And that's the bit people have to comprehend and understand. The black ink, the all capital name. And they're also using, when you get documents, a language called legalese, and also American Sign Language. The all capital. All capital means nothing. That's a fact. And anything in a box does not exist. That's a fact. Now, the only way people have power over people like myself, my family, other families, men and women, is if they claim them property or there is a contract. Other than that, nothing has power over the man or woman, the sovereign man or woman, and that's a fact. And I verify that in private capacity under full liability, under a charge of perjury. Please, people, pay attention. I'm also going to tell you, I've given it some serious consideration. Look out for myself shortly on TikTok. And the reason I'm going on TikTok, I understand, I don't know too much about it to work it out. It's a bigger platform. You get to more people. The reason I'm going on TikTok is not just to do videos. I'm going to start educating people with 3-minute videos on the basics right from the start, right through how this works, and give people knowledge in a short period of time that they can sit back, look at it again, listen and comprehend and understand. And everything I put in these videos, people, I verify in private capacity, even under the charge of perjury. There's no another man or woman that I'm aware of anywhere in any platform will stand up and be counted like that. All you get out of these people on the platforms is it's for educational purposes. But don't waste your time. It's either fact or it's nonsense. And if it's educational purposes, it serves no purpose unless it's put to the test. And myself, over the years, have been Scotland's test dummy. People tell me this and that, and what I'll do is I'll go and try it. And I'm the man that's honourable enough to come back and tell you it either works or it doesn't, or it didn't work for me, or myself, right? I keep making that mistake, me. There is no me, only myself, because I can only be myself, a living fact. Now, people, please share this video far and wide. Please listen to everything that you're told. It's truth, right? Make no mistake. And people that's known me, I've done this, really know me, know the strength of what I say and what I do. And I'll stand up and be counted. Make no mistake. One thing awakening people, that's good. It's another thing to waken the people up to do something and make a move and do it. I think it's 2024, the Scottish elections is. That is the people of the lands of Scotland's opportunity to remove consent and remove the politicians. We can fight to remove them before that, because we can prove without a shadow of a doubt that their system is corrupt. The entity known as Scottish Government, Scottish Parliament is corrupt. Every man and woman that represent that, including England, Ireland and Wales, are corrupt. They serve the corporations, they do not serve the people, right? The other thing as well, public servant, forget that. The public servant represents the government. The government's a corporation. There's no mention in there to represent the people. Okay? Anyway, people, I hope you enjoyed this information. I hope you'll share it far and wide. And I would like to thank everybody that's took time to watch this video. Let me be heard. And is going to share the video, because it's important. What I put up there gets out. It's a shame that I can't seem to get the support I require to move forward. That's the only thing that's holding myself back. But let me be crystal clear, really clear. There is no fucking about with me if I get the numbers. We'll move this forward and we'll challenge every legislation, rule, regulation that they pass, and we will remove consent. And that's a fact. Because they need our consent. We cannot be compelled or coerced without consent or a contract, or they're claiming us property. Other than that, time for the people to stand up. Stand with Anti-Corruption Scotland. Give Anti-Corruption Scotland the chance it deserves. We've not really had a chance. A way back we had a big gathering, but there were too much controversy. People fell out for stupid things and everybody turned against each other. What I want is real people. I'm starting again. I'm looking to build new numbers with fresh people, fresh faces that's willing to be men and women, stand up and be counted, be educated, and I'll show you how to attack this system. We all have to sing off the song sheet, the same song sheet, sorry people, same song sheet, and then we'll get remedy, right? Because these people, Sunak as well, Sunak, he's registered in Dun and Bradstreet. He's the high CEO of that mob down the road. Sturgeon, she's the CEO up here, or the leader above her, whoever that is, I don't know. I know they've changed for Blackford. He was a donkey anyway. They're all donkeys, people. Yeehaw! Right? Remember that. These people don't have the power. If the people of the lands of Scotland come together, stand up. My objective is to educate the people for free. Get the numbers. Protect the homelessness. Protect the elderly. Protect the sick. Protect your rights. Protect your properties and your sons and daughters. That's what we're about. That's our objectives. And we're non-political. We don't need to be political. We don't want to be politics. We don't want to be a political party. We can have a sovereign government and destroy their system. Everything that they put against our people, we can remove. Once we get the power and the authority, we can remove that. Make no mistake. And as for the national debt, that can be challenged. Remember this, he who creates owns. Whoever got these debts is the corporations, and whoever signed the document, if there is a signature on a document, is liable for the debt. So all these trillions of pounds that they've borrowed over the years and ran our services into the ground because they're trying to take control of everything. We don't have services. They want to privatise everything for money because they're greedy corporate fucking bastards. And that's a fact. Sorry for the language, but I'm being direct. Last month, it's my understanding, they borrowed 22 billion. The month before, that was up 14, that last borrowing is up 14 billion on the last month before that. Now, they're holding the men and women of the lands of Scotland, the lands of England, the lands of Wales and Ireland, surety and liable for a debt they don't own. You don't owe a debt. The people pay the unlawful taxes, the national insurance and whatever else. We pay tax on the fuel, the food, the sugar tax and all the rest of the nonsense. Why is there no money, right? You can manage that. Sunak can go over and arrange to give millions of pounds or billions of pounds to Ukraine while our people are suffering, can't get medical treatment and all the rest of it. We need to change that. Get rid of them. Get a sovereign government right through the entity known as UK, the corporation known as UK. Sovereign governments, and we will make it better for our people, our sons and daughters, our grandsons and granddaughters, and that's a fact. Please people, having faith in what I tell you, right? I stand in the truth and I stand in honour when it comes to fighting for the rights. But what I need, when I'm going to do what I'm going to do and I can get the numbers, and I want the numbers, I'm asking you, I'm please asking you, give me the numbers, give me the support, because I'll need the people's protection when I do what I want to do and I get the numbers to do it. Let me tell you, this system will not know what the fuck hit it if I get the opportunity. Everybody else has had the opportunity and I don't see a remedy. As I said before, waking people up is one thing. Doing something to better your life is another. And that's what we have to do. Anyway, people, I've rabbited on enough. Please take care, be safe, and share this information. Thank you, people. Have a good night. Bye-bye.